Hi, I'm Neil Cannon, the author of The Vitality Secret. I hope you're enjoying this book if you've downloaded it already. If you haven't, then, well, I hope you enjoy it and let me know what you think of it. Since 2015, I've been helping people reverse a whole myriad of symptoms by helping them get to the root cause of their symptoms. My own journey started off with eczema, actually, at a very young age, around the age of 5 or 6, and I actually suffered for about 30 odd years, and I was always prescribed the same symptom masking treatments. If you've got eczema or any other kind of skin condition, or any other condition actually, you may be able to relate to this, but traditional or rather conventional approaches to treating this kind of condition are very much symptom masking only. They don't get to the root cause. So I was always prescribed steroid creams, antibiotics, and nasty moisturizers that should never be put on your skin. I actually accidentally discovered its underlying cause when I was researching the condition that my father had been diagnosed with a few years prior to his stroke. So this was a number of years ago. Now I remember him distinctly telling me that he was diagnosed with this thing called chronic inflammation. I remember exactly where we were standing in the kitchen in the house and in the family home. And fast forward a few years later, I actually went on a bit of a mission to find out what it was, because I kept on seeing this thing called inflammation everywhere, chronic inflammation, what lies beneath, the silent killer, all these kinds of things. And very quickly I realized that really is the underlying cause behind every common illness, every chronic disease, and even accelerated aging, which is why it's been dubbed inflammaging. So I was able to get rid of my own eczema very, very quickly by changing a few things, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And since 2015, I've been helping people reverse all kinds of other things, like type 2 diabetes, pre-diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, arthritis, gout, eczema, psoriasis, rosacea, acne, Parkinson's in one spectacular case, total fluke, helping someone reverse her type 2 diabetes the holistic way, and they found that her symptoms of Parkinson's went away as well. You have to have chronic inflammation of the brain to get Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. There's a common denominator with almost everything these days. That is chronic inflammation. What isn't the same thing for everyone is what causes it. And that's what I want to help you to figure out. It might be as simple as a few dietary tweaks. Some people get tremendous results by changing their diets. Other people need to go a bit deeper into the mental and the emotional and even spiritual components of healing. So that's why I address 4 pillars of vitality, I call them, 4 pillars of vitality: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Physical means nutrition, physical activity, lifestyle, and external toxins. Then we have mental, which is thoughts and beliefs, the language of the brain. Emotional, which is the language of the body, so feelings and emotions. You may know, or you may be kind of familiar with this, but our thoughts and our emotions can actually create dis-ease or harmony. So it is my mission to help you to understand how you can actually create harmony in the body. This is the word of the year for me this year, how to create harmony in your body. Because when your body's in harmony, you shouldn't have any symptoms. So when you get harmony across the 4 pillars, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, you'll actually feel so much better, and it's really fun in doing this. If you follow the mainstream way of doing things, and I suspect you don't, I'm sure you've had experience with it, but I expect you're kind of curious about other ways. I don't even want to say alternative, because I think what I'm teaching here is healing, and the mainstream is really about allowing you to survive. Kind of puts you into survival. Drugs help you to live. You know, the symptoms go away, you think you're fine, but what's actually happening is they're masking symptoms. So you think you're okay, but what's happening underneath is the underlying cause getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse without you knowing, because you're taking drugs thinking you're okay. So that's what often happens as well, is people take some drugs which create more side effects, and then more drugs are prescribed to counteract the effects of those side effects, or rather to mask those symptoms that have just been created by the previous drug. So this is why we live in a pill-for-a-pill society, and it's almost deemed as normal to be on a cocktail of medications as we age, but it's not actually normal at all. That's not a biological norm, that's a social norm. The body's way better than that. The body is this incredibly powerful self-healing machine. One of my favorite quotes is, "Your body's ability to heal without drugs is greater than Western medicine has ever allowed you to believe." It's one of my favorite quotes because it's mine. Now, I may have adopted another one and changed a few words, and I've claimed it. I hope that's okay. The point is, it is so true. The body will heal just about anything when it comes to common illness, chronic disease, and again, you can slow down the aging process. So, in this 8-week program, I'm guiding you through 8 weeks of vitality, Vitality. So, every one of those letters stands for something. In week 1, we talk about vision. V is for vision. This is one of the most powerful modules of the whole 8 weeks, which is why it's number 1. Without this, a lot of people will, quote unquote, fail. They will struggle because they haven't got clear on what it is they want to create. This, uplifted, elevated version of yourself. And it has to be so desirable, and you must have a burning desire to achieve it. And ultimately, it's all about inspiration, not motivation. Motivation is when you kind of have to kick yourself into action. Inspiration is when you're pulled forward by this vision so compelling and so emotionally charged that you make it happen and make it fun in the process. So I've got some really cool tools to help that be a fun and engaging process to help you to commit for the whole 8 weeks. And then we have I, which is about inflammation and immunity. Inflammation, again, is the underlying cause of almost every common illness and chronic disease. I'm going to tell you what it's about, what creates it, how it's caused, how to measure for it, blood tests, microbiome tests, how to address it with a number of different approaches. So it's really super important to get a full understanding of what it is so you're in better position to make better decisions going forward. So then we have T, which is true food and nature's pharmacy. We're going to really go into the best foods good for your body. Not every single body needs the same food. So we're going to be talking about that. But ultimately, it's about nourishing your body, feeding the body at the cellular level. This isn't about eating stuff. It's about eating food and really healing the gut. So that's in week 3. Week 4 is called Activate and Oxygenate. And this is really about getting the body moving again. I'm afraid you can't outsource movement. And there are so many reasons why we must move. One of them is to get rid of inflammation or reduce it. We need to have oxygen pumping around our body as much as we can. We don't want to overdo it, but we need to be active in some way. We need to get the lymphatic system working, which gets rid of all the dead waste products, dead cancer cells. We're developing cancer cells every single day. It's just a matter of whether they develop into anything because of a toxic overload. So we're going to be talking about ways to get rid of all of these dead toxins and things that build up in the system, which is very important, and movement is very key for that. Then we have liquidate, hydrate, cleanse and detoxify. You take your car to get serviced every 10,000 miles or whatever it is, whatever car you have. We need to do that with our body because we actually live in quite a toxic world. And we need to find ways to cleanse and detoxify every organ so that they work more optimally and create harmony in the body again. If they're overloaded with toxins, they can't work. The liver often gets overloaded particularly, and the liver metabolizes fat and does lots of other things as well. So we want to get that clean and operating really efficiently. So that's covered in that module. In week 6, we have imagination and visualization. This is when things are going to start to get really, really interesting for you. And here we start to look into the mind-body connection. And not just that, but we're going to be bringing in some basic principles of quantum physics. Don't let that scare you, but it's really, really cool. I'm talking about some of the teachings of Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, and bringing them into here. And we're living in really exciting times to be alive right now when the gap is being bridged between science and spirituality. There's some basic principles of spirituality that have now been scientifically proven, like we are all interconnected, we are all one. This has been proven, it's unequivocal. And when we understand that there is actually a field of intelligence around us, and when we visualize and we feel it, whatever it is we're trying to create, which is why Module 1 is so key, and we're going to tie that back to Module 1, vision. This is when things really exciting start to happen. So get ready for that module, it's going to be really cool. The next one is tied into it very, very closely. It's thoughts, beliefs, feelings, and emotions. We now know that our thoughts and our emotions can change our biology. they actually create, if we're in a chronic state of negative emotion, for example, this triggers a different cascade of chemicals and hormones compared with if we are in a chronic state of love and appreciation and joy. This is scientifically documented now. And what I want to help you to do is to switch your perspective of the world in a way that is not only more enjoyable, so you start to love life even more than you already are, but this actually changes the biology because, for example, there's something called the honeymoon effect. When couples are head over heels in love with each other, they have found to have very strong immune systems. They don't get ill. All these love chemicals are pumping around the body. It's very, very powerful. And they don't get sick. So we want to be able to mimic that in our everyday environment, and that's what this module is all about. And the final module is called, that's the Y, Young Forever, and it's actually quite a surprise. I don't want to talk to you too much about what's in this module because there's some really, really cool stuff, groundbreaking stuff, and I don't want to give the game away because I want to leave it to be in suspense. So there's a summary of what you're going to find in this 8 weeks. Within these 8 weeks, I expect you to feel more energized. I expect for your symptoms to have either disappeared or be well on their way to disappearing. I expect you to feel empowered around your health again, which is very much contrary to how we are led to live in our kind of current modern Western world. We're almost conditioned to be victims, and this is about taking your power back, as corny as that sounds, really understanding what it takes to look after your body and feel vital, energized, so you have more energy to be with your family, your children, have more energy at work, show up better, be more productive, have the brain switched on. All of this kind of stuff is so incredible. It's all about vitality in the end of the day, at the end of the day. The main aim of this 8 weeks is to bring harmony back into your body so you can become free from any illness, pain, and medication. Now, there is a special right now for this weekend, the Black Friday elongated weekend, because we start on Monday the 2nd. So, I am inviting you to invite one of your friends to join you for free. This total for this 8-week course is $149. That's half of what it used to be for the online program. If you'd like to do group coaching, there is an upsell for that on the next page. Otherwise, you can do the course alone for $149. You will be working with your friend to make this happen. So you get that accountability as well as email support. So I hope you sign up. It's going to be good. It's got a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if you're not satisfied with it within 30 days, just let me know and you'll be automatically refunded. So I hope you find that a really compelling reason to join. So I hope you'll join me to 8 weeks to vitality and ignite your inner healer. Hit the link below this video and I'll see you in the welcome video, the other side of this page.